as a man, as a human being, I worked with him a very, very long time. Samoa Joe is a great guy.
What's going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Writing with Russo. This was going to be very, very interesting. WWE did their spring cleaning. What a shocker, what a shocker, what a shocker. And the biggest shocker is that former United States champion, former NXT champion, Samoa Joe was one of the list of people that WWE decided to let go of. Now, Vince, you worked with Samoa Joe before. How was it working with Samoa Joe, and why in the world would WWE let go of such a commodity? And he was amazing even in the commentary booth.
Well, I mean, listen, Chris, if you want me to be absolutely honest with you, I'm going to be absolutely honest with you.
Yeah.
Let me first say, as a man, as a human being, I worked with him a very, very long time. Samoa Joe is a great guy because so many times, bro, in the seat I was in, there was a story of personal and then there's a story of professional. Okay, so professionally, Samoa Joe was a hell of a guy, a nice guy, knew his wife. At that point, he had a little kid, really, really super guy. Okay. Now, bro, I can tell you, wrestling is a weird thing because you always find out people had heat with you after the fact, which always pissed me off because you're there working with them every single week. They can tell you anything man to man, face to face, but a lot of times you don't even know there was any heat, there was ever anything until you leave and then, so-and-so said something about me. Okay. So that happened in my case. Before I get to that part, let me tell you professionally the struggles booking Samoa Joe. Okay. And bro, this is all professional. And I think Joe has been hot at me in stating this in the past when I was asked. But when somebody asks me, why didn't you do this with Samoa Joe? And why didn't you do this? And why didn't you? Well, you really want to know why we didn't creatively? I'm going to tell you creatively why we didn't. The problem we always had with Samoa Joe always revolved around weight. It was never, he was a pain in the ass. He wasn't talented. He couldn't do this. It was always weight. If you remember, Chris, because of the budgeting at TNA and because TNA did not have a lot of money, Chris, sometimes we had to shoot 6 weeks worth of TV, 8 weeks worth of TV. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes you're shooting for like 2 months. Which means, bro, after one of those tapings, you may not be seeing talent for a month or 2 months.
Yeah.
So, bro, what would happen? And this always happened. It was like a yo-yo. Samoa Joe would come to TV looking great. So now we're all excited because, bro, physically, Samoa Joe can look really good or he can look really bad. So he would come up to work looking really great. So, bro, now we're booking for, okay, man, Joe was off. Joe lost some weight. Joe's in shape, yada, yada, yada. Now we're booking for that guy. So, bro, we'll book 6 to 8 weeks of TV. Then we'll go home. We're all excited about Joe. We're writing the next set of TVs. He comes back. He's out of shape, Samoa Joe. And you could tell it in the ring. And bro, we had these talks with him all the time. We were all up front with this. Joe, you've got to stay, because bro, this is my POV. There's a huge difference in Samoa Joe when he's in shape and when he's not in shape, and you saw it. Bro, this happened so many times. Yo-yoing up and down, looked great, was overweight, looked great, was overweight. You never knew what Samoa Joe you were going to get when he showed up for TV. And it was very, very frustrating. And see, Chris, there's a way, like the boys should understand the business inside out. Okay. But Chris, you have the level, of like agents. Okay. And agents tend to be, at least back during my time, they're former wrestlers. Bro, when they see a guy show up out of shape, they don't like it. I mean, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or anything, but I'm just going to use as an example. Terry Taylor was head of talent relations. You never saw Terry Taylor out of shape. So when a talent would walk in like out of shape, that would bother Terry because Terry would know, like, bro, as a wrestler, like your number one job is to stay in shape, work out, diet, whatever you have to do. And bro, a lot of times, like people had the tendency throw the writer under the bus. Oh, Vince thinks. That happens a lot and they don't even know it, bro. So all of a sudden, like all the heat's going to Vince, the writer, because the agent or somebody else in management doesn't want to tell Joe, bro, you're out of shape. I said, I had the conversation myself with him several times. So, bro, it was very hard to book for him because of this yo-yoing. Now, bro, here's the part where I had heat with Samoa Joe, and I didn't even realize it until we weren't working together anymore. Bro, do you know the name Matt Conway?
Yeah, he was a writer, right?
Yeah, bro, Matt was the young writer at TNA I kind of took under my wing, okay? But, bro, when all the stuff went down with Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle and everybody else, and Jeff got sent home, bro, for a long time, it was me and Matt writing all the TV. It was the two of us, right? Well, bro, Eric Bischoff, everybody knows the story. Bischoff comes it comes aboard and everything else like this. So, bro, all of a sudden, at one creative meeting, Eric has the idea that Joe's going to get kidnapped and he's going to get thrown in this white van and these ninjas are going to come out and kidnap him. And like me and Conway are like, really, Eric? Then Eric tells us his master plan of, at the time, Superfly Jimmy Snuka was going to be behind this.
Really?
And Eric, I can get Snuka, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, okay, Eric, if you can get Snuka. Well, of course, bro, we do the ninja captures Joe and throw him in the white van. And of course, Eric can't get Snuka. So now all of a sudden, like Eric doesn't know what to do with that. So now it's back on Vince and Conway. How the hell do we make sense out of this? Okay, bro, literally years later, maybe I said something about him on a podcast where I was talking about the ballooning weight and that made it difficult. Years later, I get an email from Joe. This is prior to WWE now, bro. He never went to WWE. And he's writing to me in this email of how I single-handedly ruined his career by having him kidnapped and thrown in a white van.
Wow.
Now, Chris, I'm the kind of guy, and I've always been this way. Bro, there were always a lot of people involved in creative. Bro, the rule of thumb is when a talent doesn't like something, bro, you got to have a united front. You don't say to talent, well, that wasn't my idea. You don't throw anybody under the bus. So, number one, I never knew Joe thought this angle ruined his career. Number one. Number two, bro, never had a conversation with me about it. And number three, I never threw Eric under the bus that, it wasn't my idea, it was Eric's, because I didn't work that way. So then finally, after all these years, I write him back and I say, bro, keep in mind, this is before WWE. And I'm like, Joe, let me first ease your mind of one thing. That's not going to ruin your career, bro. Okay, like, yes, bro, did it suck? Was it horrible? Was it bad? I said, yes. Is it going to ruin your career? No, Joe, I don't think that's going to be the end of your career. And then I told him, number two, Joe, just so you know, you've had heat with me for God knows how long. Joe, that wasn't my idea. And just to set the record straight, and if you don't believe me, you could ask the other person who was involved in creative, and that was Matt Conway. You can ask Matt how the whole idea unfolded. But I since then, and since I've said about my experiences working with them, I know, bro, I know he has heat with me, but Chris, a lot of times you get heat, but people could handle it the right way or the wrong way.